I'm in New York City here, so I'm just waiting for the noise to stop.
I was just thinking, like, where are you in New York? Oh, you're in the Bronx,
I'm in Brooklyn. I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah, the studio's in Brooklyn, so we're right in the middle of everything.
Okay.
We're right in the middle of everything. So we're not sound padded. We're right in the middle of everything. So I'm just waiting for
it gives it atmosphere. Yeah.
It does, absolutely. It knows we're in the city. All right, here we go.
From Little House on the Prairie. You're listening to Jimmy Deal on Celebrity Spotlight.
And Patty and Jill are here. The Ruminators are here. How you guys doing?
Good. We're happy to be here.
Did I hear Nellie Olson?
You did hear Nellie. She was a guest on the show twice. And
That's
I got to
amazing.
Meet her. Yeah, she was such a great guest, and she's such a great person. Always fun talking with Allison Augram, who was Nellie, of course, from Little House on the Prairie. Right, Tom?
That's right. That's right. She's great.
Excellent.
I remember she pushed somebody down a hill.
That was one of her favorite. That was actually her favorite episode, I believe.
Oh, wow. That was so great.
I don't know if that was Melissa Gilbert or whatever. It was in the wheelchair.
Yeah, Melissa Gilbert. Right. Probably her,
yeah. So, Patty and Jill, how are you guys? How you doing?
We're good. We keep each other sane with all our musical projects.
I know you guys always have a lot going on, a lot of music. You guys been together for a long, long time. You've been friends for a long time. How many years? Like 25 years?
What is 1999?
Since 1999.
A very long time.
26.
Very long time.
I can't believe how long it's been.
Wow. So when did you first decide that you guys wanted to do music together?
Well, that's interesting.
That's a good question.
I mean, it was sort of accidental. It was sort of accidental. Like Patty, was going through.
I was going through a breakup, and I was sleeping on her couch. I wouldn't say I was couch surfing. I was sort of couch staying at her place for a very long time. Trying to figure out what to do next. And before she would go to bed, and she had to go to bed really, really early and wake up at the crack of dawn. So we would make up a little song right before we went to bed. This is years ago.
And I'm like, I don't want to go.
She'd say, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to go.
And then we just start shouting lyrics. Jerry's, which actually our first song.
I love that song. That's such a great song. Tell us a little bit about Jerry's. How did the songwriting process start for Jerry's?
Well,
I think my father was involved. Sort of dad.
But I never knew that until later. I was
like my dad in a velour tracksuit.
Yeah, I think that we were sort of poking fun at sort of older men who just gave up dressing up. Which none of you doesn't describe either one of you guys.
But I think also they're interested in much younger women.
Oh, really? Okay. So I know most of your songs really are based on relationships, right? And past relationships and breakups. I guess both of you had a lot of bad experiences in the dating world, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily.
I would say pretty necessarily. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it seems like we gravitate to that.
So is that your main focus on writing music? Pretty much relationships?
It's like how we repair ourselves and just sort of point, we point fingers at the perpetrators, and then it turns into fun. We're no longer it's no longer a literal description of whoever did us wrong or whatever. It's now, that happened to you too, and then it'll become like a thing.
Well, I mean, Love Shrine is sort of our love song, right? Kind of a love song.
Love Shrine is about unattainable relationships with anyone. It's sort of about Elliott Smith. Obviously, he's unattainable because he's with the Angels right now. But you can still. I didn't discover his music until long after he was passed away. And then Jill, her unattainable.
The Edge from U2.
She liked guys from U2. It would switch between the Edge and the other guy, Adam Clayton.
It started with Adam, and then it's been the Edge for a long time.
Oh, okay.
So it's all about that aspect of like we love this person's voice, but we can't meet them.
Right.
Like and then we have a song called "Blow You Off," which is going to be in our new EP.
Oh, great.
But that has nothing to do. I mean, that's just more like friends that that blow you off, and so we wrote a song about it.
And that's gone through quite a metamorphosis. Really? That song "Blow You Off." It started out sort of a little more angry and a little more accusatory of a friend who was supposed to meet us at a restaurant, and then they blew us off. How could they do this to us?
Yeah, exactly.
It turned into something else, and you'll see what it did.
Now, both of you guys are from New York, pretty much, right? I know one of you guys lived in Chicago for a long time. I believe that was you, Jill, right?
Yeah, I moved there for grad school in 1980, actually. No, wait, 83. And I stayed there for 18 years, and then I came back to New York in 99.
Oh, wow.
But I was there for a really long time.
Did you do music while you were there in Chicago?
I did. Yeah, I did open mics. I did some recording with some friends. This guy AZ Slay, he was actually homeless, but he had like a record deal, and he went into a studio. We met his promoter, so that was kind of cool at the time. But I did do music then. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I know you play guitar, right? You play bass, all types of things, right? A lot of instruments. Tell us about that. How did that start for you?
Well, I play guitar and sing. And then when playing with Patty, she's like, oh, you could play the bass. And I'm like, I don't know anything about the bass. And then she says, well, it's the top 5 strings of the guitar. I'm like, oh, okay. I think I could do this. And then I actually like the bass, I think, more than the guitar at the moment, because you can harmonize with vocals and also strings, and it's fun.
Nice. Now,
I know a really good one finger bass player.
More like 2 fingers now.
2 fingers, yeah.
She's graduated to 2.
Yeah, and as I was telling you earlier, I said, I used to work for WPLJ in New York City. So on the way to work, a lot of times when I would be driving back and forth in the city, I'd pass Kenny's Castaways. I know there's a very special place for both of you. Tell us why.
Well, we actually both played at this. Did you play at Daddy Tapes or no?
No, you played. You played. That's where I first met you.
Okay, so her ex-boyfriend suggested that he come see me play at this benefit.
Right. Okay.
So I played, and did you just introduce yourself? Or?
Actually, my ex-boyfriend knew your guitar player, and then he and I developed a friendship because I was recording and the guitar player that was playing on my solo album quit sort of unexpectedly. So her guitar player and producer started playing on my album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's where you guys met.
Yeah, that's where we met at Kenny's Castaways, and then for a while he was playing on my album, and then I went on to record with him as well because he produced also. But then Patty and I struck up a friendship. They were going out.
I lived with that guy for 10 years.
Did you? Oh, big relationship.
It was very long. But then that's where we met a second time, sort of. And she was like in the waiting room waiting for him to mix something or work on something for her. And I was like ready to run away from home. I had had enough at that point. But we talked, and Jill and I hit it off, and that was when I started the one couch surfing. That's pretty much what happened.
I know Tom Payton, my co-host, has a question for both of you guys, right, Tom?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Thank
okay.
you. I'm fascinated by the fact that you call yourself the ruminators. And the idea of, to ruminate means to think profoundly about something, to spend some time maybe meditating about something. Does that reflect your music and your songwriting abilities?
I know for myself, like I dwell and ruminate on things just generally.
Sure.
To the point like it drives me crazy. And sometimes I can sort of work my way out of it. But it was just so funny because like sometimes we'll be sort of dwelling on similar things, and then that's where we'll start talking about it, the issues or whatever, and then something musical will happen with it. Like we'll say, oh, that woman blew me off, and then I'm like, oh, that's such a great idea, and then we just start writing lyrics and music, and then we write the song, pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. It's great. It really is. I actually saw something you did on TikTok earlier today. I laughed my head off. I think you know what I'm going to talk about. The box of penises.
Yes.
That was great.
It's like an offshoot, if you will, of Forrest Gump.
Yeah, exactly. I thought of that.
Yeah, and so that was like our takeoff on that. And these songs, it seems like they just like come right out of the sky, but there is some rumination to it. And there's some, we use a lot of expressions that are already there, and then twist them into our own evil way. So
that's actually a crowd favorite, is box of penises.
Really?
Yeah.
It's funny.
That was always last, yeah.
We usually end our sets with box of penises.
So, like, I know you've been compared to Weird Al a little bit, right? In some of your music.
I love that comparison. First of all, I think Weird Al does not get enough of his due with his actual talent. I mean, he's very clever, and everyone knows that part of him. But he can really play. He can really sing. He's great.
Oh,
and so whenever I'm compared to him, I'm always a happy camper.
And he's a great guy. I met him several times. He's such a great guy.
Wow.
I did, yeah. And I've been to some of his shows. I mean, he really did have some sellout shows, and people just absolutely love Weird Al. They really do.
I'm another one. I love Weird Al.
Yeah, it's great.
Heidi, you also 1996, special year for you. Tell me about your album. Tell me about your recording career. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, well, it was 1994, and I was about to graduate from Parsons School of Design. And I lived right on the same block with Chelsea Hotel and all these, I met there used to be an old 23rd Street Guitars. And then they just moved it a couple blocks. They did this a lot. The 30th Street Guitars is now on 28th Street. I don't know why they did that. But in any event, they were doing track work. They took the 9 away, the 9 train. And I was commuting back and forth from the 1 and 9 to F and L on 14th Street and 7th Avenue. And then when I started making, it's such a long story, but I ended up stepping in, and I ended up getting a record deal out of pretty much nowhere. Right. I broke a string, and it was a cold night, kind of like this. And sometimes you can break a string and you just pull another from your pocket and just replace it. Not this time. This is like, I have to get this thing fixed. The whole neck is wonked and I need to fix it. So I ended up going to this guy whose name is Richie Bax, who lives down the street from where I am right now. Just happens eventually. And, I'm sitting in there with one other guy, and he says, "Hey, you're Patty Rothberg." And I said, "Yes, who wants to know?" And then he said, "Dave Greenberg, we went to the guitar workshop together. There's basically like summer camp with a guitar." And, we ended up going to what is no longer Benny's Burritos. Everything's changed around now.
Yeah, I know. Everything is not what it used to be in New York.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like what happened to what we knew. But anyway,
Yeah.
so he knew this one knew that one, and the next thing you knew, I was standing outside Tommy Mottola's office.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, just it all rolled so fast. And sometimes, yeah, people, they butt their heads against the wall, they try really hard, and you can't get one box of penises out of it. And then but this was like very relatively easy. I don't know why. I got lucky. I don't know. So
did you work directly with Tommy at all?
Actually, I didn't, because it was like David and Goliath, and Sony was like the Goliath because they were a huge company. And then I decided to work with EMI.
Yes.
First, you know how like you make these quick decisions. I'm like, well, Duran Duran was on EMI and Kate Bush was on EMI, so I guess I'll go with EMI. You know, and they were sort of like the David, if you will.
Right.
So that's what I did. I got to record with whatchamacallit, 8th Street, not the 8th Street Playhouse. I can't think of the name of it. Jimi Hendrix, Electric Ladyland Studios.
Wow.
Oh, very cool. What a great
My
place
first
to record.
choice. It was
Nice.
You record 1 and 9 there?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. What a legendary studio to record in.
Amazing.
Tremendous. Oh my god, it must have been.
I was in heaven for a while.
So I wanted to ask you about the CBGB scene. Now, were you guys part of that at all?
Very little, because they were about to end. I think they stopped everything in, what was it, 90? What year did they stop playing? I don't know, but I got to play there a couple times.
Oh, did you really?
I played at CB too. Yeah. But
so we didn't play together though.
I was telling you before that, like, when I was in high school, I had a friend who's like, "Oh, let's go to CB's and Mutt Club." I'm like, "No, it's like ABC downtown. I can't deal with that. Like, it's dangerous, you know." And I was more of a disco kid. But it was happening like in the like the major time that CB's was going on. So I guess I missed out.
So you were more of a Webster Hall type of girl, right? You remember Webster Hall?
Actually, I was Xenon. Studio 54 and Xenon.
Studio 54. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, those were great. Those were great days for sure in New York. Great music. Congratulations on the new video. Tell us about the new video, Emo Man.
Emo Man.
Okay, how do you want to start?
Well, I did the editing. We both collaborated on the imagery and the story. We know we know people from Baker Falls and Sidewalk. So Joe Bendick, he was our emo man, and then we had like a second emo man in the wings, Billy Pigeon, and then my friend's daughter was the girl, the teenager. So we just took a day and went to various spots, and I had this sort of vision of us being in front of the theater, and then we went into a graveyard church. And those were some cool pictures there. And we went to record stores, and it was so much fun. But I put it together. I would put it together and edit, and then we came up with the idea together.
Well, it's a great video. Is that your only video, or do you have more videos out there?
That's our only real video, so to speak. I mean, we have a lot of live footage. We have a lot of like fun, a couple different versions of Box of Penises. You know, you can compare and contrast if you must. But I would like to say that Emo Man has, in filming it, I realized that it's come full circle. People are listening to records again. You know, we had this young girl who's her coworker's daughter. She's only 16?
Yeah.
She's 16, and it's her first acting role. And I remember that. I remember, you know, I get to be in a video, or you know, anything at all that I get to do that's like a big thing. You know, I really remember well. And we took her to Trash and Vaudeville.
Oh, that was the first time she was there, and she was like mesmerized.
Oh,
I think
wow.
she wanted to buy the whole store.
Yeah, no, her mom said, forget it. Like, yeah.
We had to ask some permissions here and there.
And they let us just roam around. We were all just checking out the clothes, and everybody was just having so much fun. And the woman just let us go there. It was my first video that I've ever done. I'm a photographer, but it was the first video I ever did. You know, did the directing or doing the photographing or the videography, I guess.
Yeah, you do a lot of pictures, right? You still do a lot of photography, right, Jill?
Yeah. I have a photo in the Museum of the City of New York.
Oh, awesome.
And then I'm gonna probably work on having a solo show with this place called Brushed. And I've also worked with a curator at the museum. He bought I'm a sort of in with older photographers. So the Museum of the City of New York bought like 7 of my friend's photos, and she's an older photographer.
Nice. Now, when you first started, you were filming Patty at one point, right? And for, doing photo shoots of Patty when she first started out, right?
Oh yeah, I mean Patty. I've always taken photos of Patty from even when we were just friends and we weren't singing or doing music. Like I just found like she was a really very picturesque and a good subject matter. So yes,
I had a book. I still have a book. It's called Extra Awesome. And it was filmed, or not filmed, but rather photographed by this photographer who just had the most hilarious but dark sense of humor. Very like black sense of humor. And he and Jill hit it off because they were both photographers, but they were both like, oh, everyone thinks they're a photographer now because of these cameras, but they each had the real thing. And this is an interesting coincidence because my new band is called the Patty Rothberg Coincidence.
Oh, really?
Yes, coincidentally it is. And Jill she took my 8x10s, like if I ever had to do like autographs or something, she took those pictures, and I posed as who I called at the time Joni Ramone. Speaking of CBs.
Oh, wow.
And then just a couple years later, I ended up being a female Joey Ramone for an all-female cover band of the Ramones.
Really?
For 10 years, yeah.
Cool.
And I was in that band for 10 years, yep.
And you got to meet him, right?
I did. Well, I did technically meet him, but for a very brief second at the old Ritz, which is now Webster Hall, which is also right down where I live here.
I've been in Webster Hall a couple times.
Have you?
Yeah, long time back in my PLJ days. Yeah, I live in Brooklyn, though. Yeah.
That's where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Now, I was going to ask you, since I live in Brooklyn, I know you guys got to perform in Brooklyn at one point, right? Do you still do more shows in Brooklyn?
Yeah, we did Pete's Candy Store.
Oh yes, we've played a lot at this one place called Pete's Candy Store.
Is that Williamsburg? I'm not positive what that area is.
It's Lorimer Street. So if you take the L, it's right there. Yeah, and
the L train is like directly right across from my studio.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so I'm very close to Lorimer Street.
And then we went to Young Ethel's, so we had a show there a few weeks ago.
I think that's in Park Slope. I would not know anything in Brooklyn. If you spun me around blindfolded, I'd be lost forever. I don't know anything there.
So, what about any tour plans? You guys any plans to do a tour with the Ruminators?
We are talking about it all the time. We're ruminating about a tour, aren't we?
Yes,
we're talking about maybe doing like house concerts, but the thing is, she has to work. She has to. It's always the same. Like, she can't leave her 9-to-5 job, and I have jobs, but they're more like Swiss cheese. Like, here I'm teaching at the UFD, and then I have a job doing this and that, but I don't have a 9-to-5 like the way.
Well,
you're in several bands, right? You have several bands, right? More than just one.
I do. I'm in 4 bands.
4 bands.
So wow. That's a lot of Swiss cheese. Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot of music right there.
And then I think we're gonna try and do a Northeast tour.
Oh.
So I'm looking into venues. I do all the promotion for the Ruminators, so I get us on radio stations and send promo packets out.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me some of the radio stations that you guys have been played on.
Wowed Radio. We're played a lot on FMU by Lori Towers and John Pietero.
Lori Towers, my good friend.
Yeah. Excellent. She's a complete supporter.
Yeah.
And then we there was a WHUS in Stores, Connecticut.
What about Mexico City?
Mexico City, we were like a big hit. Rock Connection 77. We were played 150 times, like in a few months.
That was our big hit.
Yeah, we're gonna try and go to Mexico City. That's what we're gonna try and do.
But then there's always somebody who's like, it's dangerous. You can't go there. So.
Tom, what else do you have for the Ruminators?
I'm curious. Who are the artists that when you're not working, that you would enjoy listening to, or that have influenced you in one way or another?
Good question. Well, aside from Elliott Smith,
I see that. Yeah,
listen to him all the time. And you too. Let's see. Who else do we listen? Juliana Hatfield.
Duran
Duran is a big one.
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
You guys remind me of the Go-Go's a little bit. What about the Go-Go's? Were they an influence?
I love the Go-Go's. Absolutely. I actually had a friend's band who, on the cover of the magazine, it said, "The Go-Go's, they ain't," because they were supposed to be like tougher and like. But I personally love the Go-Go's. And I even did a cover of theirs. It was Our Lips Are Sealed.
Ah, great.
That we did sort of a cross between the Fun Boy 3 version and the Go-Go's version.
I'll tell you, when I was listening to some of your music, you reminded me a lot of the Go-Go's. You really did.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's such a good thing.
That is cool.
Yeah. We're going to use that.
I sort of go for female vocalists. So like Annie Lennox. Liz, I like Liz Phair a lot. And there's a lot of music that
I tend to go for like tenor, sweet male vocalists, like John Waite from the Babies, or who else do I like? Rod Stewart. You're not sure if it's a guy or a girl.
Mm-hmm.
These kind. I mean, obviously you know who Rod Stewart. I think if you don't know he's a guy by now.
And then also for me, I mean, growing up in New York, like R&B, like soul music.
Right.
Blues. I like blues. I like blues a lot.
Yeah. There's a guy that used to hang out at the CBGB's, John Waite. I used to see him once in a while over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess you can't miss him.
Yeah, absolutely. He used to come up to the radio station here and there. Nice guy, very nice guy. But anyway, let's give Emo Man a spin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Cool.
And go with the Ruminators. A Celebrity Spotlight. Patty and Jill, Emo Man.
The web has been spun.
Oh, let's see. You know, it's going to start over again.
Okay.
So we'll give you a sample of Emo Man. That's Patty and Jill right there, and that's a hit. Emo Man, I got a brand new video for this song, and here it is on Celebrity Spotlight. We'll hear a little bit more of it.
Oh, hey, kids, slow down. Is that a Cure shirt you're wearing? Oh, yeah, love it, love it. You love the Cure, huh? Okay, like the Moby stuff. So, you like, where's your hair in the Cure? You look young. Oh, on my video games. That's where I first heard them, you know. Oh, okay, I understand. So, hey, you want to be in...
All right, that's Emo Man right there.
Okay, that's good.
There, the Ruminators, Celebrity Spotlight. What a great song! Tell us again the writing behind Emo Man. Tell us how that was written.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a couple of different band references that you can hear. One of them is actually Gary Newman, because the older Emo Man, the actual the guy that we wanted to play the Emo Man, he's trying to convince this young kid that you don't even need to play. You just need one finger, and it's easy. Anybody can do it, you know. And he has been trying to find a band ever since the Beatles did Sgt. Pepper, you know, and so his journey to like try to find a person that's right for his band to create his whole band has led him in a circle. And now he is like, no, it's really easy. All you have to do is push this. He's gone from, you know, these lofty goals of like Sgt. Pepper, you know, the Beatles, which was cutting edge at one point,
right?
You know that, and now that's like retro. You say, so it's kind of gone full circle.
That's so awesome, Tom. What else do you have for Patty and Jill?
I was going to ask Jill. Jill, can you tell us a little bit about your photography that's in the Museum of the City of New York?
I have a photo. I was in the Hurricane Sandy show. So it's a photo actually in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Of sort of the destruction of what happened during the hurricane, and but in my photography I do sort of surreal imagery. I do collage, abstract photography, some street photography. So it's like a variety, I think.
Nice.
And abstract and also surrealism really influences me.
Good.
Nice. What keeps you guys motivated to keep doing what you're doing?
Just the trials and tribulations of life. Like everything that keeps happening, it just keeps flowing. There's no slowing down of situations that happen to us. Like, you won't believe what just happened to me. We're almost like Laverne and Shirley. You know, it's like we're in an episode of some made up sitcom, and we'll sit down to have a rehearsal and go over some of the songs we've already written. And then maybe Jill will say, I can't believe this girl did this to me. And I'm like, what happened? What'd they do? She wanted me to play tuba. I don't play the tuba or whatever it is. So it's just you know, life, real life.
Right.
And that's what makes us relatable.
And then I think we'll be talking, and then we'll both have a similar experience. And then I'll like be playing something on the bass, and Patty's like, you need to record that. And so I put it on my memo, and then we just start writing the song from that point. We have like a whole backlog of songs in various stages.
Nice.
Of completion.
Now, did you also work with Suzanne Vega?
Yeah, I was in a songwriters group for probably 10 years. Jack Hardy and Suzanne Vega was regularly attending
Right.
every so often. And during 9/11, a lot of the songwriters wrote songs about it, and Jack's brother had been killed in Cantor Fitzgerald.
Mm.
And so
really?
yeah, and so a bunch of us wrote just songs as a reaction to 9/11. And then Philip Glass, like I recorded my song at Philip Glass's studio. She gave me the option of like either recording at her house, which I should have done, or Philip Glass's studio. So he lent his studio to everybody, and it was either you would record there or her house. And then she put out an album called Vigil.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, I remember Luca. We used to play that in New York all the time. What a great song. Do you keep in touch with Suzanne at all?
I mean, from time to time, yeah, from time to time. I'm a huge fan of her guitar, or of her singing, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and her guitar playing.
And Patty, you worked with a lot of celebrities as well. Tell us about some of the people you worked with.
Okay, the first one that came to mind just now is Chris Isaak.
Oh yeah,
because I did a West Coast tour with him.
Uh-huh.
And they were just when I recently saw the Complete Unknown movie, the Bob Dylan biopic.
Great movie, by the way. I love the movie.
Yeah, it's excellent.
I saw this one scene of Johnny Cash and his band, and
really?
And I was like, that's like Chris Isaak. Like I never made that connection before, and I don't know if they did either. But I'll tell you, at that time he was so nice. And he just recently was advertising Leland Sklar's book with the cursed fingers in it. Are you familiar with that guy? He's a session bass player, but he's also, I'm sure he can play any instrument. He's just been around forever. And Chris Isaak was on like YouTube advertising this book where everybody is giving the finger. But to me, he was a perfect gentleman, so nice. You know, he drew a little cat tattoo on me. I think they were very protective of me because I was only 24 when I'm on this world tour. I was way too young for that. I don't know why I did it, but I did. Of course I know why I did it, but okay. So I'm not sorry. It's just that, let's just put it this way. Some people were super nice. And some people are the opposite. So, and Chris Isaac's band was very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm a big Elvis.
I met Stevie Nicks because she was also in H.K. Kaufman's management. And somebody said, "Oh, somebody wants to meet you in the other room." And I'm like, "Oh, I wonder if it's one of my mom's friends or something." And Stevie Nicks comes walking in the room, and I just almost died, basically. But here I am. I'm still here to tell the story. But she is another one who's a doll. So nice. Yeah. She was making her own essential oils at the time. This is 96.
Right.
So, yeah, that was great. I don't know. Name a celebrity. I'll try not to be too mean about it. So far, I'm naming the really sweet ones.
Yeah, I know Chris Isaak. I got to meet him. I'm a big Elvis fan. And he reminded me of Elvis a lot, really.
No longer connected.
Oh wait, hold on a second, Patty.
Yeah,
it's disconnected.
Did I?
Oh, did I sit on it?
I don't know. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, we got.
I don't know if they can still hear us. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, now I can.
Yeah, Wicked Game. I loved Wicked Game. What a great song Chris Isaak had. Remember that? Oh, one of my favorites.
Yeah, I know. Me too. It just never gets so tired. So.
Yeah, he was a big fan of Sun Records and an Elvis fan as well too. He reminded me of Elvis a little bit, Chris.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
He was the only one doing that at that time, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So I mean, you had a lot of great experiences with a lot of celebrities, and which is so awesome. Man. You had such a great career. I mean, legendary album back there, and the one in 9, right? I mean, still going today. I mean, that's legendary.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the stuff of legend, but it all leads down the road of rumination.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, here I am. I'm with like this great woman. And we're creating new stuff. I have I have all that stuff that I did. I know that I played the Beacon Theater.
Right. Oh wow.
That was pretty amazing. In fact, the way that that's why I call it the Patty Rothberg coincidence.
Right.
Because I was walking up, I guess, 73rd and wherever the Beacon is, and I saw that Amy Mann was playing, and I really wanted to just at least see the show. So I said, how am I going to get into that show? I'm like, who do I know that I don't know anybody? And the next day, I get a phone call. Amy's opening act canceled. Would you like to play? I mean, this is like unbelievable, right?
Wow.
So I had some kind of magic going on during those years.
So awesome. Really cool. The very first song you wrote, Jerry's?
Yes, Jerry's.
Great song.
That was during the couch sessions.
Okay.
How would you? That would be actually kind of cool to write a song called the Couch Session.
That's true, because that's how we started it. See, and you guys were part of that. See,
it's so awesome. Let's play a little bit of Jerry's.
Yeah,
great song.
Good idea.
Jerry's knocking on my front door. Jerry's, that I want you anymore. When I look at you, your face just sags. You want me more, but you're just a drag. Your black hair is gray and you're dressed in sweats. You got dirty thoughts. Is this as good as it gets? Oh, Jerry's knocking on my front door. Jerry's, that I want you anymore. You made me feel like $1,000,000. Crawlers are young, they know how to fun. Crawlers are eager, they've got sneakers too, and they're quick to say, I love you. Oh, Jerry's knocking on my front door. Jerry's, and I don't want you anymore. Jerry's knocking on my front door. Jerry, I don't want you anymore. The little man is a rare breed. We look for him, he's what we need. I have a feeling he doesn't exist. With the middle man, it's eternal bliss. Jerry is knocking on my front door. Jerry, that I don't want you anymore. Oh, Jerry is knocking on my front door. Jerry, that I don't want you anymore.
Jerry's Illuminated with Jill and Patty Rothberg. Fantastic job right there. Great song.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Let's play another song right here. Tell us about this song.
Uh-oh.
Zygotes.
Oh, yeah. That's the other side.
Great song. A little hokey pokey there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great song.
'cause he's younger than your son. That's what it's all about.
He's got my vote. He floats my boat. Barely.
Great lyrics there. I love that.
That's a tuba. Isn't that weird?
Mm.
Yeah, great song. Zygotes right there. Celebrity Spotlight, Jill and Patty, the Ruminators. Good song. Tell us a little bit about the writing of Zygotes. Where did that come from? I guess it's a relationship for sure, a younger relationship right there that you're talking about, right?
Yes. Well, imagine you're on the subway and you see a cute young man and then you realize that he's got books. He's got a book bag. And he's like, it says like 10th grade chemistry on it or something. And you're like, oh no, he's a little young. So like sometimes you forget how old you are. Sometimes you forget how old they are.
Right.
It's like that. I mean, like obviously I have a tiny pint-sized crush on Timothy Chalamet just because I love Bob Dylan and I saw the movie. And then I'm like, wait a minute. He was 1 when I recorded my first album. That's not right. And then, so you have to just turn that off. And actually, there's a lyric in there that almost broke up the Ruminators.
Well, not really. Broke us up.
Well, it would have. It caused
I didn't want to
ruckus.
record it because it said his paper route, and I'm in the health field. So for my job, and I'm like, oh my god, that's all I need is
right. So that's why she goes
to be singing about like someone you're interested in that is in a paper route. So I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And I was like, that's the line that's upsetting you, a paper route? I didn't get it. But then after a while, I understood. We understand. It takes a minute, but we eventually figure each other out. So.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys are great songwriters, though. Really.
Thank you. And Patty is a phenomenal multi-instrumentalist, and she has tremendous ideas as we're recording. So it's thoroughly fun and enjoyable.
We do it very quickly. We've got it down to a science.
In all your performing, what's the craziest thing that's happened to you guys while performing on stage?
I mean, not crazy, but like people start dancing, and that's not crazy, but it's like so amazing.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think. There's got to be something that happened that was. Oh, I love this story. Okay, so there were about 3 people, including us, in the audience one night. Mm-hmm. And one of the guys was this incredible prodigy.
Oh yeah.
You couldn't see. He was blind, and he had the biggest smile on his face because we played Box of Penises. I mean, he could hear. Yeah. And I didn't know. You never know who's in the audience. You don't know,
Right.
like, you just
Exactly,
play your
yeah.
set and you
Mhm.
just got to own it. You know, I mean, Weird Al, who knows
Sure.
what he's thinking before he does My Bologna, or, you know, we don't know.
That's
I
right.
could offend somebody. I don't know who. But
Right.
in any case, wasn't that insane? That was very intense because this guy he was a very serious musician. But then when we started singing, like, you know, Box of Penises, like all our set, you could tell he had this giant smile on his face the whole time.
I think also, like, one night we played at the Roost and we did Box of Penises, and then 2 or 3 other musicians started with Box of Penises.
That's right.
We never gave the music to them. They just started playing Box of Penises and then, like, went into their own song.
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
Jonas Hall, and then I think Toby Goodshank did it too. And that
Very
was
catchy.
That was pretty
Yes, it is. That's
amazing.
right.
You guys mostly play New York City, or do you? I know you do a little bit of New Jersey too, right? You have a little history in New Jersey, right?
Have we ever played in Jersey?
You have with
I have a band. I call them my Jersey Boys because the main guy, he's an Uber driver, and I ended up sort of taking over the production of his band, and then I joined the band. Now I'm singing backups for that band and playing guitar. So they're called the Deep Drags, and they're doing great. They have #1 singles, and they're on Goldie's Gingerbread Garage. Or have you heard of that? I'm sure you must have because you're radio guys.
Yeah.
You're both radio guys. In any case, it's kind of like a Little Steven, but
I know what
female.
you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's doing great with that. And so that's the only I have a total band dedicated to New Jersey. And that's fine with me. They're great. They're doing great. Then
Rockaway Bitch played in Jersey a lot, right?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But
That
we
was
played
the-
Staten Island a lot.
Oh.
That was
Oh, really? Wow.
That was my Ramones stint for 10 years.
Oh.
Okay. What was your favorite Ramones song?
I want to say there's some I like Tonight. That's fun to sing. Tonight. Oh yeah. Let's see, what else did I like to do? I like the song Today Your Love, Tomorrow the World.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
But because that is so, I mean, obviously he's not serious, but it's a very serious topic, sort of. I don't know. It's like, I used to love singing that song, and I'd grab the microphone and shake back and forth. I miss it. You know, I do miss that band, but it was not meant to be.
Right.
What other bands do I have?
The Graveyards and the Coincidence.
The Graveyards. We play a lot at the Graveyards. I've played 2 or 3 times at Pete's Candy Store, which is on
really?
your railway.
Right on Lamar Street. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Larimer Street. We're playing there probably.
That's an up and coming neighborhood again. You know that's you know, back in the day that wasn't such a good neighborhood, but now it is again.
Yeah,
it's a great neighborhood actually.
Is it? I mean, all I know is that it feels very safe now.
It feels safe.
Yeah, that area.
Yeah, I mean, Brooklyn has changed in a big way in a lot of neighborhoods, which is pretty awesome. They have these cool clubs again, a lot of places for musicians to perform.
Right.
Yeah, and they keep coming, like Gold Sounds, and there's a bowling alley, and then of course there's Brooklyn Bowl. That's Brooklyn for like Bowl, bigger.
Sure.
Yeah, a lot of celebrities go there. Tom Payton, what do you have for Patty and Jill?
I was going to ask you, Patty. You performed on the David Letterman show a number of years ago.
Yes, I did. This before he looked like Santa Claus. Well, one thing I'll remember is that it was very cold in the studio because apparently he didn't want to like perspire or didn't want to be seen like, you know, freaking out. So everybody was freezing in there. Yeah. And he was absolutely lovely. He was just so nice. I can't say one bad thing about the guy. somebody was sleeping on his lawn. I don't know who that was, but remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that story. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. I remember, like I can't picture him doing the opposite. He's a nice person. And then I also played on Jay Leno.
Jimmy's friend, Jay Leno. Yeah.
Yeah, I met
Did you
Jay
speak
quite
to
a
him?
few times. I haven't seen him in a long time, but I've met him quite a few times. Yeah, Jay's a great guy.
Yeah, I mean he owned a fish restaurant in Eastchester.
Did he really? I didn't know that.
Wow. I
I'm
did
pretty
not
sure
know
he
that.
did. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
I just remember I sat next to Chris Rock on the
Oh, okay.
couch,
Nice.
and it was
Oh,
before
wow, that's
he was
great.
famous, and then all of a sudden I sat next to Jackie Chan on the Letterman show. That's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I sat next to a lot of people, but they didn't sit next to me. You know what I mean? But anyway, it was pretty cool. I'm sitting next to Jill. Something's gonna happen here. Definitely something good.
You got to perform on some pretty cool shows. They'd be on some pretty cool shows, which is awesome.
Sure. I was on Much Music in Canada. That's when people are like looking in the window and like smearing their face on the
Oh wow,
window.
that's cool.
Yeah, you know that show?
Yeah.
See, we don't know half the things we've done. That's why we need you guys to sort of sound off and figure out what we did, and then maybe like go from there.
Where do you see the Ruminators in about 5 years from now?
Taking the world.
Gold records. Just taking over and so many more things to ruminate about because people piss us off, you know?
Mhm.
So we got things to sing about.
We got things to say.
That's
That's
right.
That's
Well, you
right.
told me you had a love song, right? Let's see if we can play that love song. And tell me about the
Love
love song
Shrine?
again. Yeah,
Love
let's see if we
Shrine?
can pull that up again. Just give me a second, see if we can get that up here again. I don't know. But anyway, so tell us about the love song. How did that come together?
Okay. How did it come together?
Well, Patty has a love shrine in her apartment.
Uh,
And then I was just thinking, we should write a song about that love shrine.
right.
So we started describing, I think, what was on the shelf, and then it just catapulted into.
That was an easy one to write.
Yeah,
because
that
it was very literally descriptive of what we were seeing on the shelf.
Right.
Yeah.
But then also the fantasy of being with this sort of either unreachable guy or deceased guy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Cool. So this is called Love Shrine. So we're going to play a little bit of this. Patty and Jill, the Ruminators, Love Shrine. This is their love song right here on Celebrity Spotlight.
I have a little candle and some pictures on a shelf. When I look into that corner, I see you in myself. To know a bell we meet in the garden and be wet. Then I remember I was dreaming in my bed. Together we'll never be less. 'Cause even in death, we're a perfect match. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I adore you on my love side. What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I adore you on my love side. Walking down Fifth, hand in hand. No expectations for where we live. We're beyond the pale with the ocean floor. No legend of misery is even more. The candle will never be
Love Shrine right there. The Ruminators, Celebrity Spotlight, Patty and Jill right there. Fantastic job. Great song. Great to have you on the show
Thank
tonight.
you so much.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you
such a great
both.
you guys, and thank you so much.
I just found Leland Scott.
I really appreciate it. That's so awesome.
I don't know how you find these things in your apartment.
Yeah. Tom Payton, any final thoughts for Jill and Patty?
No, just all the best to you both. We really enjoyed having you here. Thanks so much for sharing your story with us.
Absolutely.
Thank you
so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. And a shout out to Lori Towers again for hooking us
thank
up.
you,
Yes.
Lori.
Yeah, Lori's such a great person, and I know she's a good friend of yours and mine. So thank you, Lori Towers, for hooking us up for this fantastic show. And thank you, the Ruminators, for joining me. Patty and Jill, I wish you all the best. Please stay in touch. Let me know what's going on, where you're touring, and tell everybody how they can find your wonderful music and keep in touch with you guys.
You can find us on Linktree, the Ruminators with Patty Rothberg.
Okay.
And also what?
On YouTube, Emo Man.
The Ruminators Official, right?
And then also Facebook, Ruminators Official.
Cool. And they can download the music too if they want to get that music.
Oh yeah, that's on Apple, Apple, iTunes. It's under It's You, the Ruminators with Patty Rothberg. That's our newer EP, and then also Catch and Release.
Oh, okay, great.
That was our first effort.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining
us. Thanks, you guys. You've been such a lovely audience.
Thank you
both.
Yeah, so many great people listening too, like Brad Siegel in Canarsie, Team Siegel. Christy Mickelson is out there. I know my mom's watching out there in Canarsie.
Yeah, how cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for having such a nice son.
And also producer Cindy's out there, Lake Ronkonkoma. She's putting this all together for me, letting us know what's happening and who's listening right now. And Tom Payton, of course, my co-host and a good friend of mine. Thank you for joining me, Tom.
Thank you.
We've got a lot more celebrities coming up at the end of this month and also next month. We'll keep you up to date on that on Facebook and all our media outlets. I want to thank everybody for listening tonight. And once again, thank you, Patty and Jill, the Ruminators, for hanging out with us. I appreciate it so much.
It was a blast.
Thank you so much, Jimmy.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And everybody, thank you so much for listening.
Yes, thank you both.
We will catch you guys next Monday. Actually, not next Monday, but I'll keep you up to date on the next show that's coming up. It should be in a couple of weeks. So I'll give you all that information on Facebook and as I said, all our media outlets. So again, thanks everybody for listening, who listens to the show every single week. I really do appreciate it. All right, everybody, have a great week. Enjoy this Valentine's weekend. Guys, what do you got planned for Valentine's Day? I have to ask you. Patty and Jill, what do you have planned for Valentine's Day?
I think we're going to dip something like cheese and chocolate in a fondue.
Oh,
okay, you guys have dates or you have relationship dates going on or what? You guys in relationships?
I didn't really have anything planned.
I have a date and I'm making him give me fondue.
Oh, okay. There you go. That sounds like a nice Valentine's, little fondue.
There you go. That sounds great.
All right,
That's
guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And everybody, happy Valentine's Day weekend. Everybody enjoy. Yes. And we will talk to you soon here on Celebrity Spotlight. Everybody have a fantastic night and take care. Bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Tom.